beautiful ignited souls. We are ready for a new creation. Hi, my beautiful ignited souls. I am Crime Queen. Thank you for joining us, the US United Souls. So, if you're watching this, you're part of the United Souls. You have been ordained. Okay. So, I'm connecting with my copper. I'm just feeling this is such a good device that just encouraging you, of course, to get your copper wherever, whether it's the cup, whatever you can do with copper to help you in these times. This is helping you with your physiology and against COVID. But let's get into what we have decided to do on here. So it's just a little tip for now. So thank you for being here and subscribers, viewers, and everyone. So this is just wonderful. This video is going to be on words and how you are the word. Like in the New Testament, when John, in the first book of John, the first chapter, where it reads, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." Now, I have done videos maybe 3 years ago because I just follow my intuition, or not just intuition, the downloads that I have been getting as well, is that I understood that we are the result of an experiment. Now, these times are teaching us exactly what I perhaps could not articulate as clearly, or maybe what you will finding difficult to believe. And we are the result of an experiment. I actually saw that we were the result of six individuals. The experiment was of six women. Now, however, that has, I cannot give you the proof, then we are the proof. Hence, it is said that the number of man is six as well. So, whether it was woman, but it's still man. So it's six. Now, here in this presentation, we are going to look at the verse which is the 14th verse, and I had not planned this. I just know certain texts that resonate, and when I get the download, I quickly perhaps go and find something that gives me more, that sheds light on whatever it is that I am wanting to share with you. So here I noticed, and this is for the first time that I've noticed, in the 14th verse, because I also speak of two creations, and this 14th verse says, "And the Word was made flesh." This is what had been ringing with me for about the past 3 months, because that got me writing as well. So, "And the Word was made flesh and dwell among us." So who is us? And who's the flesh that dwell amongst us? The questions that you can ask and see what comes out, how this is going to reflect. And in brackets we have, "We beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father," which a lot of people see as Jesus or Christ, full of grace and truth. But that's also you, which is what we want to show you. This is the 14 gods coming together. The 14 gods come like the two serpents, or the caduceus, or this is why again we have 14-day quarantine, and this is the incubator, or the incubator process for life to come out through this. So basically we are going through a new creation. This is the two creations, the 2 7 days of creation in these new times. Especially now we are in 2021, which is a 5 year. This is the number of change. This is where the incubation, if you like, you could see how things are synchronizing so beautifully, because the number 14 added together comes to 5. So this is the year of birthing into this newness. This is change. This is why we say, oh, you need to take the, well, not we, not including myself here, but it is said, oh, you need to take this so you could travel, or take that so you could be here, and so on. So many things are happening, but it's about the two creations that are happening right before our very eyes. So the word was made flesh, and I want to show you something that came to me that I hope you can understand how it is that you are the word. We see in the English culture, for instance, or the old English way of speaking, when I would watch the old movies, which I do like, or a gentleman's word was his bond. People made agreements on words, and the words were meant to be their bond. It was like a stamp. You could not go back on your word. When you give your word, you have given it. Now you give something. You can only give something that you have, something that is you. So basically, you are the word. I am trying to find a way. So I'm going to ask Spirit, or the 14 gods, to help me find a way that you can understand truly that you are the word. What can I say here to get you to understand that you are wrapped and kneaded like flour, baking a cake or kneading bread, and is that you are the word. You are the construct of words. You are the construct of codes. Now that's why the word was made flesh. Now, sorry, before verse 14, where it says, and the word was made flesh, it also says that nothing was made without him, and it wasn't made, or what was made was not made through the will of flesh. It was not made through the will of whatever else, but however, the word was made flesh, meaning that the word itself, or flesh, that which you are, is the word. Okay, so here we are going to see that God was the word. God is 8. Let's get, okay, yeah. So God is 8. Now, if you're new to this, we have done everything we do is about the sacrifice template is reflected here, and we are looking at how we are in this new state, which is number 5. This is where it says, when you are in Christ, you are a new creature. Right now, we all ought to be seeing ourselves in this new state. This is where we are saying, I am. The middle, the letter here, 4 letters on either side of this, meaning we need to be, it's like a pyramid and you're on the very top. You can see on either sides. So, back to flesh. Let's look at the word flesh, because the word was made flesh. Now, made is one of the gods, but also saw is one of the gods. The word saw, S-A-W. So we can see that the made is a verbatim god of the 14 gods that we had: the created God, the moved God, saw God, said God, made God, called God, divided God, blessed God, caused God, formed God, created, oh, I've said created, ended, and breathed God and planted. So we have those 14 gods. And so we have the saw God. So we could see that a lot of things have been mirrored when it says as well that as above, so below, or what's in the heavens is in the earth. So we know that things are also being reflected here. So let's look at the word flesh. I just want to bring this to your attention. In Britain or in our Western culture as well, there's a lot to say that if a woman is not married at a certain age, then she's going to be left on the shelf. She's going to be left on the shelf. SHELF. Now, what do we usually put on shelves, people? We usually have books. A book is what we usually put on shelf. Now, we know that shelf, hair, a woman, and hair, for instance, like I said before in other presentations, we are the experiment or the result of an experiment, meaning that you were created in words and codes. The language that we have been given is not external of you, it is within you. You have been made, baked, cooked in this word. Hence why when codes put in you, or you are using codes, because everything is coded, everything that our birth certificate is of numbers. The numbers, of course, you can spell them in letters. So number 1, you have NUMBER. So you can actually get this activated. So basically, you are like strings, or like the matrix. You are the matrix, and being the matrix, you are coded. That's simple as that. You are of codes, and hence, even our language teaches us that very well. But because we are here to remember, in fact, someone reminded me that, because I had a brother who just passed not too long ago, he says, they never gone. That's why we have a memorial service. That is to do with memory. So the memory never dies. The memory lives within each and every one of us. This is what we know for sure. Even when the person passes, they left something with us. That means they are still activated each time that we remember something about them. It gets activated. Their spirit is activated within us. And that is how we have become words. Whatever we have been created in or with, that gets activated. You are the Word. The Word was made flesh. And of course, because words are seen as feminine, because you create with them, they get multiplied. You string the letters form words, and words become sentences, and sentences becomes paragraphs, and paragraphs becomes chapters become books, or whatever it is. And we see that this is what we are about. Hence, it is also in the book of Revelation that if you took any word or anything out, you would be crossed out of the book of life. It means that you are the word. If you cross anything out, you cross yourself out. You have deleted yourself, literally. So to cross something is that you are taking that out, and you are the word, so the word must live on. So here let's look at the word flesh. The word was made flesh, FLESH. And we have shelf, SHELF. So when a woman, for instance, has not been married, because it's not often said for a man, it's usually said for a woman, because she is the one who has this creative, in this sense, the creative elements. She is the incubator right there to contain the words. So if she is left on the shelf, she's not going to be read. No one is going to read her to read as well. So we have READ, and we also have RID. They are really one and the same. So no one's going to read this female as a book. This is why we often say, oh, I can read you like a book. Let's not take it for granted that you are the flesh. This vocabulary that we have is so clear that we miss it. We take it for granted and we miss it. So let's look at the numerical value for flesh, which is 63518. Let's add this together. So this is 9, 16, 9, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yes, 17, 23. So 23, this is what we mean, and this is life. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Now we see this flesh text that I don't know if I've read it, from the 14th verse of John. John actually joins. These are things for us to see. John actually equals 20, if I remember, but 2, the numerical value for 2, you either come as in fellowship or you can divide. This is the 2. Now here in chapter 1 verse 14, this is where we speak of flesh. And the word was flesh. In the beginning was the word. You are the word, meaning you were there from the beginning. Just like those who have passed on and they come into separate lives or whatever it is. This body that we have is really like a cloak. It's like another version of you having a wardrobe and you decide to put on a certain cloak. And so in the different realms, when we take of different forms or different bodies that we are changing, again, whether we were in a summer, autumn, winter, or whatever it is. But that's what the word is about. We need to look at the words much closer than we have been doing. So 5:23, and here it is also said the word is life, or so. I was talking about read. We may have to look at this when you say you get rid of something, meaning you project it out. The same way when you read a book, you are projecting the words outward. You are projecting your articulating, not just articulating, but you are activating that which you are. It's almost like you're unraveling the vocabulary from within you. Now, for those of you who write, for instance, I wrote and published a couple books, and there are times I open the book and I think, did I really write that? But yes, what it is that the word that I am the word, and the word is activated. Hence, the numerical value for word, WRD, which is 5, and W as well, tells you it is 2 of you, the creation, the 7th day, the 7 days. The word W, as we have done, which is like free, which is like M or E or or MW or 3. Okay, so we see this here. This is saying that is like to you. When this is again how language, when we say something is like to you, it's like basically giving you a sense of projection on one aspect of who you are. You're not thinking of your double or of yourself as whole entity in this sense when you are wanting to make a description or identification of something. So here, let's look at this. So this is 694. Adding this together, 1924. 2 plus 4 is 6. And this is what we mean by the number of man. We also mean it as the 6th day of creation. That's not including the day of rest. So you are the word, meaning everything that was created in 6 days, you are that. Now back to understanding the shelf is that when one reads a book, books are of words, letters and words and numbers. That means they are in a book. So we see again, as I said before, Revelation speaks of you as a book. Your name is in a book. The word name is also mean. You are the mean, you are the total. So hence, MEAN or NAME. And these are things that for us to see how we are created. Actually, this is 5, 10, 15, and this will take you here. So every time you are looking at the mean total of something or someone or a situation, you are looking at the new. You are required to look to see it as new, a new perspective, a new vision, a new version. This is what we are looking at. We are saying about activating the flesh. That's why we have emotions. When we speak as well, we feel in the flesh. We feel what we say in the flesh. We get sensations in the flesh. That's why someone can say something to you and it actually resonates or it don't. It turns you on or it turns you off. It repulses you or it makes you smile. All kinds of emotions take place right here. This is what we are talking about. So I hope when we also say united souls, you will get a feel about that oneness that we are talking about. Hence we say the word us. I'm really believing that it meant united souls because the soul does not die. And this is where we have this oneness. But these are things just, we say downloads. The download is something that mirrors and activates that which we are. That which we are meant to see, that which we are meant to express as creative beings. So, let's look at 2 plus 5, 2 plus 3, which is 5, and we see that is also life, LIFE. Of course, speaking of words, which is on the shelf, people say, oh, be careful if you turn to a spinster, you might be put on the shelf. This one is put on the shelf. No one is going to read her because, of course, the flesh is word that gets put in a book. So you are a book and you are life. Hence we say file. So everything we are doing outward is a projection of who or extension of who we are. I hope you like this. I hope you find this interesting. Please leave your comments, people. Please leave a question, whatever it is, because we are doing live. We have got files, different files, and of course we are in the new state, new united souls. And just not to keep this too long, actually we're on 23 or is it 28? So thank you. I hope you have enjoyed this. Like and subscribe and share and stay ignited.